Folks, I am here talking to Dr. Eggman. Mike Pollock. Now, Mike has been for 20 years, or 20 years this August, Dr. Eggman on the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Now he's live in August. He's going to be celebrating his 20th anniversary by being in another superhero piece. This is live on stage, COWL GIRL at the Players Theater. Mike, good to speak to you again. So tell me about you in the flesh on stage for COWL GIRL. How's that going? What's new with it?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say one of the joys of voiceover that I've been doing for 20 years or more is you don't have to remember dialogue. There's no blocking. You don't have to worry about wardrobe. And I've been coasting on the relaxing life of a voiceover actor. But live theater has always been in my heart ever since grade school and community theater. And I've always thought, I'm not pursuing on camera or live theater, but if someone were to ask, sure, I'd entertain the idea. So sure enough, the guys from COWL GIRL asked because it's a nerdy show, and I mean that in the most loving, adorable way. It's a superhero nerd fest, and they said we'd like someone with nerd cred to be part of our cast. And I said, no, there's lines to memorize, but okay, if you insist. So we did a little audition. They liked it. I liked it. I'm not going to say that line memorization is still not a challenge, but I'm working on it. Come and see how well I've done. And it has been a joy just to get back into a room with actors. And because normally when we're recording, we can record ensemble style, but very often it's me in a room with the director and an engineer on the other side and listening to people who recorded before or imagining what people who haven't recorded yet are going to sound like. Acting, but it's not acting. This is acting with people in a room, and it's fantastic.
That's great. That's great. I played one character in a video game. I played Shadrach in King's Quest. For episodes called Silver Lining, and yeah, I sat in a room in my sweatpants and just went, and yeah, that it was fun. But you're absolutely right. The feedback, the energy, the spirit is there in live theater. Who are you playing? Tell us about the show. Tell us about who you're playing in it.
Sure. The story revolves around the nerdy and neurodivergent COWL GIRL, who we see behind you, who has found that the best way to deal with the outside world is to not deal with the outside world. She stays home in her apartment, and when she ventures out into the building, she wears a Batman cowl and a cape. And I play Jason, a father figure, the doorman of the building, with a bit of a prior relationship to COWL GIRL and her family, which I won't spoil just yet. But as it turns out, there is an elderly apartment dweller in the building who is on his way out, and he's got a large collection of stuff, some of which COWL GIRL would like to have. And so we learn how one of his relatives comes to clean out the apartment and develops a relationship with COWL GIRL, centering not just on a couple of toys that they would both love to have possession, but they develop into a bit of a romantic relationship as well. And then we also meet Tabby, COWL GIRL's best friend, also living in the apartment, and it is a very sweet and funny romantic comedy. We'll call it a rom-com.
That's interesting. A rom-com with the superheroes. That's great. From the description of your character. So, considering there's a Batman cowl in this, it sounds like you're somewhat Alfred the Butler in this.
Yes, a little bit. I'm a friend and advisor, and the guy who, since he's always around, is the doorman. He knows what's going on in the building, and he cares for all his residents. And COWL GIRL is no exception.
And he's the wise one, the sage.
Yeah.
Right?
Against everyone's possible opinions, but yes, ultimately he knows what's going on. People just have to listen to him more.
And so the message is a deep one. The message is hiding behind one persona because we don't want to bruise or hurt ourselves in the other persona. Seems.
And the real world is a scary place, but it's a good place to be. So I try to coax her out from behind the cowl. And I might be successful at that. No spoilers.
That's great. Oh, that's great. I'm so thrilled when I hear the deep message behind it. People immediately think that oh, it's superheroes, it's fantasy, it's whatever, it's meaningless. No, it isn't. There's a depth behind these films, behind these characters that really makes a difference. Oh, that's great.
Good.
Thank you, Mike. Well, now I know all the plot. Now I can't wait to see it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. I do hope you'll come to see it and see how well I remember those lines.
And I'm not going to I see Mike paraphrase in COWL GIRL
Exactly.
August 10 at the Players Theater in New York.
If you've not read the script, you'll never know.
I'm going to use that. That's great.